Hey, Uncle Randeaux's Cajun Kitchen, and today we have a special side dish, a Cajun dish for you called Cajun style butter beans. Hey, welcome back to Uncle Randeaux's Cajun Kitchen. This is your first time viewing us. Enjoy, have a good time. Hit that subscribe button. All right, follow us along. You're going to get all kind of meals. We got a bunch of shows up for you. Today, a side dish. Cajun style butter beans. Right when I was a little boy, my grandfather, he had a big garden. Man, I'm telling you, it must have been 12 feet by 50, 60 feet. He grew all kind of stuff. It was good, yeah. But what we had to do with him, I'm talking about a little boy with my mom and my daddy, and eventually when my sister, she came along, we had to sit on that front porch. That's what we did, and we shelled those butter beans. We shelled butter beans and buckets of butter beans, I'm telling you right now. My grandmother, she'd ball them and freeze them. And you freeze those things up, they're good all year long. You put in that plastic bag and you freeze it, don't take too much space. Oh, it's good. But that's what we did, yeah. We did that every day. We had to go to my grandfather's right there in Groves, Texas, Lapland, Louisiana. That's where Louisiana lapped over into Texas when all the Cajuns came over for jobs in the 1940s and all. So, what we're going to do, I'm just going to tell you what you need. It's very simple. It's just about what you got to have for pretty much everything. You got to have a bell pepper. You got to have a oignon, onion, some green top, garlic, Uncle Randeaux's cayenne, yippee-yi-yo cayenne, yes sir. And I always like my fresh ground black pepper, all right? And something a little special. Now you can use regular oil, but what I do here, I save my bacon grease. Don't tell my wife, she don't like it when I do that. But let me tell you, you cook that, when you saute this all up with your garlic and your onion and some bacon grease, whoo, it's gonna be good, all right? And of course you need them butter beans. You gotta have some butter beans. All right, some people call them lima beans, but they're not really lima beans. You get them young while they're still green. We call them butter beans, not those big white things, you know, we don't want that. All right, we're gonna chop them, we're gonna chop all this up. And then we're going to be ready. Yeah, I think you know how to chop onions. You know how to chop bell pepper. If not, watch another show where I did it a few times. We're going to save a few minutes for you today. And we're going to come back. Everything's going to be set. Okay, now look. I got most of this cut up for you. The oignon, the onions, the bell pepper, the green tops, the garlic. Well, okay, we got the pot here. There we got some fire going. All right. First thing I'm gonna do, I'll put a little of this. I told you already, you don't tell my wife I did this, right? Okay. Now, I had a little extra oil in it too because I didn't have enough bacon grease. All right, to get that flavor. All right, but that's gonna melt in here real good. All right, I'm gonna get that going. All right, once that's going real good, I'm going to add my garlic and my onion. It's only going to take a minute or so here. All right, I got a good fire going. Last thing we're going to do is throw in this. And then it's just going to cook for a while. You got to cook till it's done. I took all that you saw a minute ago, put it in a bowl. Just makes it a lot easier to get into the pot. All right, I'm going to cook this down a little bit. For a little bit while it's, before I put in the butter beans. All right, and we got there. See, it's cooking nice. Now, remember what I said. I use this spoon just for a minute. I'm gonna put it down. I'm getting my wooden spoon. Because I go and I forget, and I leave it in the pot and I burn my hand. I don't want to do that. All right, now, yippee-yi-yo cayenne. We're gonna put this in here while it's cooking. Want the flavor to go. How much did I put? About 5 shakes. Now I would say you don't use this too much. Go a little bit at a time. Same thing with the black pepper. Now, this is my fresh ground. I don't advise you to do this. Shake it up. I would say this, put it like a 1/4 teaspoon at the most. Somebody I saw in a recipe doing a Cajun thing, they wanted a whole tablespoon of this and a whole tablespoon of that. I don't think I could have eaten that. That would have been hot. Cajuns don't eat hot, we eat spicy. Not the same thing. Okay, now it's cooking along here. Okay? It's going to take a little bit. I want to saute it, not completely. I'm not going to have it like an old limp old dish rag. I'm going to cook it down. Let's get it good and started and everything's going. Hear that sizzle? Oh, that smells good. I could eat that right by itself. Give me a loaf of bread. Dip that right in there. So on another show, I show you how to make Uncle Randeaux's Cajun French bread, which is different than anybody else's. So you can see it's starting to turn a little bit brown. Okay. The beans, they take a while. Those are fresh beans, not dried. Now, if you do dried, you got to soak them. Maybe a day in advance, okay? But, or you're going to cook them for about 5 hours on a slow fire. From here, I'm just going to throw in my beans. All right? Because the onion, the garlic, she's going to continue on. Okay. The reason why I call them butter beans, because they're young beans, and I didn't let them grow those big, fat, big white ones. All right? We don't want to let it go that long. Okay? I'm mixing it up so the onions get all through here. It's all going to be cooked down and sauteed. All right, if I feel like it, I might add a little more black pepper or red pepper, but right now, that's all. All right? And this has got to cook for a few minutes like this. Okay, this is cooked a few minutes. All right? You can see, all right, you can see the onions, they're getting wilted down. The garlic, everything is all mixed in. Right? Now, notice I still have my pepper. I still have both my pepper. I got this little glass of water. I may not need it. Don't let it go dry. Sometimes you have to add a little. So I'm going to have it right here. Today I might not need it. Some days I will. What I'm going to do, I put the lid on it. Okay? All right, now, I've got to watch it. I can't leave. I'll go forget about it, and I'll have some nice burnt beans. We don't like blackened beans. That don't work so well, no. So we're going to come back. I'm going to show you every now and then a shot. It doesn't take too long to cook this. You'll see. But you got to keep an eye and just watch for it when it's done. I'll show you what it looks like when we're all done. All right, it's time to check. All right, let's take a look. We don't want those beans to dry. The beans have a lot of water in it themselves. All right, now take a look here. It's turning nice and brown. That's the nice thing about one of these cast iron skillets. It turns nice and brown for you. You can see it's the onions turning brown. The onions, they turn a little bit brown. The garlic, we're gonna stir it in here. I'm looking down at the bottom. I'm going to add just a touch of water. You don't do too much. All right, you're not boiling your beans. All right, we're sauteing them. All right, take a look. She's beautiful right here. All right. We're getting close. It's not done. By the way, you vegetarians, don't put the bacon grease. Perfectly good. Olive oil is great. I have a mixture of olive oil and a little bit of bacon to get that flavor. You want to be a vegetarian? No bacon grease. I guarantee you she's still good. All right, and you got to keep a looking on it. I keep a watching. You really can't walk away because you just might burn it, but you don't have to stir it constantly, but often. All right, let's take a peek. I think we're probably about ready. Let's take a peek. Okay. Oh, now look. Just about right. See the onions, they're all cooked, the garlic. I forgot to tell you one thing. I sprinkled a little bit of kosher sea salt. Not much, just a little sprinkle, don't do too much. But nothing in here has salt in it already. Now, if you did the bacon grease, you might have had a bit of salt in that because they cure it with that. But there's not much salt otherwise. So I put it just enough because, you know, a little bit of salt, it enhances the flavor. Too much is too salty. But and when I was a kid, we probably did it all too salty. Now I cut back a lot. Look at that. Okay, we're set here. Here's what I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to turn that fire off. I'm going to put some in a bowl. All right, just like that. I'm going to get this stuff out of the way. Okay. All right. There's my butter beans. Now, like I said, I put on my rice and gravy. Vegetarian, you're not going to put on rice. Gravy has meat. You know what this is? Mix this in with wild rice. Whoo, that's going to be good. Yeah, I love wild rice, and it's good right by itself with nothing else. You mix this in it, it's going to have a really good flavor. All right? Now, let's try a little bitty bite of the bean, okay? Oh, ça c'est bon, yes, cher. Ça, what do we say, mes amis? Allons manger. Là, j'ai la bon temps roulé et bonne chance, mes amis.